Welcome back. We are right in the middle of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe from the Chronicles of Narnia series. You'll remember from last time that Edmund had been captured by the White Witch, and she was now coming after his brother and sisters who were meeting with Aslan. This wolf right there was the wolf captain who had just caught up to Susan when we stopped. So let's find out what happens next. Lucy was up a tree in a flash, but Susan hadn't time to climb out of reach. "Help her," Lucy screamed, and drawing his sword, Peter did, fighting that lurking, smirking, cruel captain single-handedly to his end. "You are finding your strengths, I see," Aslan glowed, "and now I must send my people for your brother." True to Aslan's promise, in the morning, Edmund had been found. He was there, walking in the dewy grass and talking with the lion. Lucy thought her brother looked quite different, as if he was beginning to trust himself again. She was so relieved she wanted to run over and throw her arms around him, but before she could, the dwarf, Longbeard, announced the arrival of the White Witch. Ooh, she's creepy. "Hear me," the witch screamed at Aslan. "That child was ready to hand over his brother and sisters in exchange for a few boxes of Turkish delight. He is a traitor and cannot be rescued, for the law says all traitors are mine. Give him back to me now." When she had finished, Aslan sent Peter to prepare an army of good Narnians. Then he quietly offered his own life to save Edmund's. The witch couldn't believe her luck. "Forget Edmund," she whispered to her dwarf and her bags. "Forget the children. Now I can kill the great Aslan, power of all good, without breath or roar, and rule forever. Tie him to the table with 1,000 ropes." But as soon as Aslan was dead and the witch left, an army of mice arrived and began to nibble through the ropes. Lucy and Susan, who had been hidden, were heartbroken. They wanted to run and tell Peter, but before they could, there came a thunderous crack. The stone table had split in two, and Aslan was free. "Aslan, you're alive!" Lucy cried, flinging herself onto him. "How did you do that?" "Through magic, deeper than the witch will ever know," said Aslan. "And now, children, there is much to do. But first, we shall enjoy a romp through the spring as no one ever has, except in Narnia." And that is what they did. The girls riding on the great lion's back through avenues and sunny glades, past roaring waterfalls and echoing caverns, across mountains, valleys, and acres of blue. On and on, until they arrived at the witch's house. She was away, of course, but high walls and locked gates did not bother Aslan. "Hold on!" he roared and leaped and landed in the courtyard, among statues of all the creatures the witch had turned to stone. "Mr. Tumnus!" cried Lucy. "Oh, Aslan, I promised him I wouldn't let this happen." "Then keep your promises through me," said Aslan as he began to breathe warm life into each of the cold statues. And once back in the land of the living, all of them were only too eager to join in the battle against the witch and her horrible army of ogres and giants, boggles and hags, ghouls and ghastlies of every sort. But as they came bounding up, they saw stone statues of their side all over the battlefield. The witch and her wand were winning. Then suddenly, Edmund stepped out to save the day. Instead of going for the witch directly, he brought his sword down on her wand, smashing it to pieces. See Edmund smashing the witch's wand in pieces, and there's Peter fighting alongside Aslan and this giant over here. And that was that the White Witch is dead. Narnia is free. Long live Narnia! The cries went up, sending the last of the witch's army running for the faraway hills. As Edmund lay still on the ground, Lucy remembered her fire-flowered cordial and rushed to his side. "He's badly wounded," said Peter, "but without what he did, the witch would have won." "True," said Aslan. "Even I might be a statue. He has earned his place back among you. But, Lucy, be quick. There are many wounded. Susan, help her while I get busy with all these statues." When every hurt Narnian was healed and every stone statue was breathing again, Aslan solemnly crowned the children up at the castle: King Peter, Queen Susan, King Edmund, and Queen Lucy. See them all sitting there next to Aslan with their crowns and their thrones. Afterward, there was music, feasting and dancing. Aslan, glowing more golden than ever, was about to slip away. But before he did, Lucy found him. "We've never ruled anywhere before," she said, "and I am a bit afraid." "Don't be," said Aslan, "for I'll be with you, even when you do not see me. Besides, you're all brave and adventurous, and I've seen the love in your heart, Lucy, and it overflows. You will be as good as a queen as Narnia could hope for." As always, Aslan was right. Soon, all four of them were loved and respected up and down the land. Together, they finished off the witch's gas lease. They restored peace, good living, and laughter. And where once it was endless winter, now it seemed always summer. "The prophecy is fulfilled," said Mr. Tumnus, as they walked in the wild woods. "Narnia is Narnia again. But what's this? An iron tree? Lit like a lamp?" Of course, it wasn't an iron tree at all, but it was the lamppost near the wardrobe. Suddenly, Peter, Susan, Edmund, and Lucy felt the pull of their lives on the other side. And the next thing, there they were, not pushing past trees, but rows of fur coats. They were back. They were home. And to their amazement, not a moment had passed since they'd left. But then, as they were to find out in many other adventures, that was all part of the marvel and mystery of that evermore magical land, Narnia. And that is the end of our story.